with that inflation, we always had positive GDP growth. So the economy was expanding, unemployment was relatively low, and in some cases historically low. So other economic factors were not stagnating, and they were doing well, while inflation was causing consumers pain. Now we have this issue where inflation is still too high. Now it's not what it was running, a couple of years ago when it was up to 8-9% in June 2022. But it's still over the 2% goal that the Fed has set, something running like 2.7, 2.8% now. And it's not really projected to fall that much this year. So we're going to have a scenario where inflation throughout 2025 is going to remain relatively slightly elevated, but enough to be felt. But we're starting to see projections that GDP, so economic output, is starting to slow. They're kind of across the board right now, all over the place, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to maintain this like 2+% GDP growth all year. And so when you have slowing economic growth plus higher inflation, that's kind of where you get the word stagflation. So economic stagnation and inflation. We're not really seeing projections that there's going to be a huge uptick in unemployment. I think the Fed projected a slight uptick in unemployment before the end of the year, something like 4.3%, 4.4%, somewhere in that range, but that's nowhere near like massive recession material. But still, with these tariffs, I mean, there's talk that there could be a recession down the road. And, I think a lot of it's going to come down to how the market reacts to Trump's tariff agenda and how far Trump goes on the tariff front.